What's up and welcome back. Alright, so we have another review out and everything else, and first things first, I recognize that my content is not as frequent as you guys would like, but besides life, work, and doom, stuff is just taking up my time. Sorry. So, oh, and yes, I'm wearing a waffle top. Get over it. I'm cold. Okay? I'm a freaking twig. So, here it is. Okay, what we're looking at today is from Holland Tactical Solutions, okay? This is their Rip Grip, okay? Now, William Holland decided that he was going to go ahead and send me a bunch of these, both for the M&P and the Glock, right? And he asked me if I could do a review on them, and of course I said yes, but I'm only going to do my review on them. To which he just basically gave me a north and south and was all like, alright, be as honest and brutal as you need to be. So, respect to him for the confidence in his products and not wanting me to shill, because that's happened before from different companies, and I've kindly, kind of told them to go away. Now, here it is. Okay. What the Rip Grip is, essentially, is it is basically like that skateboard tape stuff that dudes tend to put on their Glocks. On their pistol grips, right? It's similar to that. The only difference, obviously, is that it goes straight into the slide serrations. Okay, now a real simple way to look at that is that it is applied by an adhesive that's already on it to start. And it just kind of fits itself, as you can actually pretty clearly see inside the little grooves there of the, or in the slide, rather, okay? And they're just supposed to give you extra traction and stuff, and it's supposed to help out with, like, one-handed manipulation and all this other stuff, okay? Now, here's the thing. This is my last one, okay? I was sent, like, 6 of the things. This is my very last one. As with all of the skateboard tapey apply to gun type stuff, it wears out and it peels off, just like everything else. That's like it. Okay, it does that. There's no way you can avoid it. It's going to happen, right? The only thing that's slightly different with it is that it is for the slide serrations and the top of the slide too. You can actually see that there's a grippy little surface. It ends right about there. Okay, so that way it helps out the whole hand when you're charging the slide. Now, really quickly, as an able-bodied person, I don't care for this at all. I don't. It's a thing that's kind of convenient, but kind of not, because, wears out and stuff. But there's a place for it, and I can see a place for it. Number one, if you're bringing a child into this. Okay, let's say that child is like 6, 8, something like that. And they just need a little bit of help charging a slide on a pistol. Okay, there's that. For those of you less than able-bodied guys, or fully able-bodied guys, whatever PC bullcrap term I'm supposed to use, if you're doing mostly one-handed manipulations and stuff with a gun, this actually does help, because I've done a bunch of one-handed stuff with it. And when I'm trying to run it off the belt and stuff, the skateboard grip tape actually grips onto other stuff pretty well. So it helps you charge that slide one-handed and all that stuff, which is good. Especially if you're running a set of excess sights and stuff like that. I've been running these forever, and like I said in my review on these sights, the only con is the actual ledge itself. Especially over time, it starts to get a little bit rounded, so it gets a little bit more difficult. So I can see how that would be a real positive thing for guys like that. The next thing is that if you're an older guy or gal that has arthritis and just issues with the hands and stuff, and you're starting to lose some of your grip strength and whatnot, simply because, it just hurts, So the added assistance for, guys and gals like that is actually quite helpful, and I can see where it's useful, So I'm not going to completely write it off like I do most of these little gadgets and stuff, because that's just really how that goes for me. But here's the thing, okay? Like, a lot of products like it, they do peel off, and if you do not apply it properly, it's coming off much sooner, okay? With this, basically the standard set of instructions for everything like this, not just from Holland, is that you need to degrease your slide and remove all the little oils and stuff that you had on it before. When I first got this, and because I don't mess with the grip tape stuff very much, the first thing that I did was that I just applied it, and then when I realized, hey, you're a retard, you should probably try and figure out why these are coming off super fast, then, he let me know, hey, the adhesive actually needs to be on a really dry surface. So I'm like, all right, degreased the slide and all that, applied it, and it stayed on pretty good. Okay, and here we run into a problem, because the rip grips that he sent me for the M&P series guns, those things ripped right off immediately. I believe that's actually in the design of the scallop serrations themselves. And I talked to him back and forth on it, and he said, yeah, we're receiving a lot of criticisms about that, and, they're coming off. So what he did was he actually made the grippy portion of it a little bit smaller, and that's pretty much alleviated most of that problem, even though because of the design of the scallop serrations on the M&P, they're not going to completely go away. So there it is. I just figured that, I told him I would put out an honest review on it, so here it is, okay? End verdict, personally, I don't care about this at all, okay? Matter of fact, right when I'm done with this review, it's coming off of my gun, because I personally don't, like I say, I don't really care for it at all. But for those of you that do have issues with, like, your hands and whatnot, or if you're trying to bring the youngins into it and everything else, there is some validity in that product by itself, because being able to have just a little bit more to grip on and charge the slide with can help people in those particular situations. So I'm not going to write it off completely. It's just one of those things that has its place. So there it is. And here's your video. Remember, guys, the regular guy's firearm is the last defense against tyranny. Be easy.